I always say this and I get in a bit of trouble. I don't believe there's such a thing as depression in men. Every time I've spoken to a man with depression, I always say it's not depression, it's unfulfilled potential. You have got so much potential.
If you look at the average man who is in his 30s, 40s, you will see that even though he has a decent job, a wife, a little car, he's still feeling unhappy, still living a regretful life. And there is only one reason for that. It's unfulfilled potential. Unfulfilled potential is when someone is not reaching his maximum capabilities or talents, which could have been utilized to achieve greater success. You know, men can lie to people. We can lie to our parents, boss, wife, but we can never lie to ourselves. It doesn't work. Because if you are not living your life on the edge, if you are not going for your goals, for your dreams, your soul, your body will let you know by making you go through a depression. That's why you have so many men that go see a therapist, that then take pills and think they're gonna feel better. But right after they come off the pills, they still feel this sadness and they still don't know why they are feeling this way. And it's a vicious circle. They're not feeling good, they're gonna take pills again, and etc, etc. But there is this thing that no therapist is talking about, is that to feel happiness, to stop feeling depressed, a man needs to chase his goals. A man needs to fulfill his potential. And I know some of you might be like, I know this guy, he's my neighbor, he's not doing much of his life, he has a decent job, a little house, he drinks beer after work, he watches football in the weekend, and he still seems to be happy. And I'm gonna tell you something, that's probably true. He's probably happy. But the reason why he's happy is because that's his potential. His potential is to have a little job, a little house, a little car, and he's pretty content with that. But unfortunately, that's not the case of all men. And I would argue that it's not the case of most men. Most men are wired to achieve and go for something great in their life. You can only reach happiness and fulfillment and peace in this life when you have given your all, when you are every day working to the maximum of your capabilities. That's why you feel so good after a week of hard work, after a gym session where you have given your all. And the opposite is also true. After a gym session when you haven't given your all, you're not feeling satisfied. And the reason for that is that as men, we love progress. We are happy when we are making progress in our life. Just think about it. Remember the times where you genuinely felt happy in your life. It probably had something to deal with progress. You either got a degree, or you got a job that you really wanted to get, or you bought your first car. You have been leveling up, you made progress. But the issue is that most men, they stop there. After they graduate, after they get their job, they get a wife, a loan to buy their house. That's it. They have no dreams anymore. And that's when they truly feel unhappy. That's when they live a life of quiet desperation. Because they're telling themselves, is that it? That's what my life is supposed to be? And the YouTuber First Man actually made a good video on that recently. He says that most men, they get to the level where they graduate, get a job, wife, loan for their house, and they stop there. They cannot go to the other level. The other level is actually building a business, having an impact on people, traveling, going to events, doing things that are adventurous. But most men cannot do that because once you get to this level, you're kind of stuck. You have a family you have to provide for, have a wife you have to provide for, you have to pay bills. So that's why it's really important to build yourself first before getting married, because that's when you can take most risks. I'm not saying you cannot do it when you are married, but it's gonna be harder. I actually did it while being married, so you can definitely do it if you are in this case. And when you are not living the life that you could have been living, you will see other men living that life. Unfortunately, we live in the era of the internet, of social media, and every time you see men living the life that you could have been living, it creates a pain inside of you. And when you see other men achieving what you could have achieved, it creates a pain inside of you. This pain builds up until eventually it creates an emptiness and a difficulty to wake up in the morning because you don't want to face your own reality. I'm not saying you should compare yourself to other people. Actually, it's bad to compare yourself. But as men, we are competitive. We compare ourselves to others. You can't help but see that you are lacking. And I know what I'm talking about because I have been there. I've been this guy who was not fulfilling his potential. And trust me, I was not excited to start my day. I was literally living in a quiet desperation. My days were boring. I was just living like the average man, going to work, coming back home, watching Netflix, scrolling on my phone, then the next day repeat. Then I would repeat the same thing the next day. And inside of me, I know what I was capable of. And it's only when I started acting on my potential that I felt happiness again. And the good thing is that fulfillment comes as soon as you start acting on your potential. You don't have to achieve things to start feeling fulfilled and happy. You just need to start working towards those things to feel happy. And I have developed a method called Pentagon that allows you to 100% find and fulfill your potential. I talked about this method in my previous video. I'll put the link below so you can watch it. And if you would like me to help you with that, you can click the link below to schedule a session with me. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I hope you found value in this video. My name is Mohamed. I post videos every week, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one.